Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 58, number 246. Narrated by Asma. I prepared the journey food for the Prophet and Abu Bakr when they wanted to migrate to Medina. I said to my father, Abu Bakr, I do not have anything to tie the container of the journey food with except my waist belt. He said, divide it lengthwise into two. I did so, and for this reason I was named Dart un-Nitakayan, i.e. the owner of two belts. Ibn Abbas said, Asma, Dart un-Nitak. Volume 5, Book 58, number 247. Narrated by Al-Bara. When the Prophet migrated to Medina, Surah bin Malik bin Juzam pursued him. The Prophet invoked evil on him, therefore the four legs of his horse sank into the ground. Surah said to the Prophet, invoke Allah to rescue me, and I will not harm you. The Prophet invoked Allah for him. Then Allah's apostle felt thirsty and he passed by a shepherd. Abu Bakr said, I took a bowl and milked a little milk in it and brought it to the Prophet and he drank till I was pleased. Volume 5, Book 58, number 248. Narrated by Asma. That she conceived Abdullah bin Azed Zubair. She added, I migrated to Medina while I was at full term of pregnancy and alighted at Quba where I gave birth to him. Then I brought him to the Prophet and put him in his lap. The Prophet asked for a date, chewed it, and put some of its juice in the child's mouth. So, the first thing that entered the child's stomach was the saliva of Allah's apostle. Then the Prophet rubbed the child's palate with a date and invoked for Allah's blessings on him, and he was the first child born amongst the emigrants in the Islamic land, i.e. Medina. Volume 5, Book 58, number 249. Narrated by Aisha. The first child who was born in the Islamic land, i.e. Medina, amongst the emigrants, was Abdullah bin Azed Zubair. They brought him to the Prophet. The Prophet took a date, and after chewing it, put its juice in his mouth. So the first thing that went into the child's stomach was the saliva of the Prophet. Volume 5, Book 58, number 250. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. Allah's apostle arrived at Medina with Abu Bakr, riding behind him on the same camel. Abu Bakr was an elderly man known to the people, while Allah's apostle was a youth that was unknown. Thus, if a man met Abu Bakr, he would say, O Abu Bakr, who is this man in front of you? Abu Bakr would say, this man shows me the way. One would think that Abu Bakr meant the road, while in fact, Abu Bakr meant the way of virtue and good. Then Abu Bakr looked behind and saw a horse rider pursuing them. He said, O Allah's apostle, this is a horse rider pursuing us. The Prophet looked behind and said, O Allah, cause him to fall down. So the horse threw him down and got up neighing. After that the rider, Surah, said, O Allah's Prophet, order me whatever you want. The Prophet said, stay where you are and do not allow anybody to reach us. So, in the first part of the day Surah was an enemy of Allah's Prophet, and in the last part of it, he was a protector. Then Allah's apostle alighted by the side of the Al-Hara and sent a message to the Ansar. And they came to Allah's Prophet and Abu Bakr, and having greeted them, they said, ride your she-camels, safe, and obeyed. Allah's apostle and Abu Bakr rode, and the Ansar, carrying their arms, surrounded them. The news that Allah's Prophet had come circulated in Medina. The people came out and were eagerly looking and saying, Allah's Prophet has come. Allah's Prophet has come. So the Prophet went on till he alighted near the house of Abu Ayyub. While the Prophet was speaking with the family members of Abu Ayyub, Abdullah bin Salam heard the news of his arrival, while he himself was picking the dates for his family from his family garden. He hurried to the Prophet carrying the dates which he had collected for his family from the garden. He listened to Allah's Prophet and then went home. Then Allah's Prophet said, "Which is the nearest of the houses of our kith and kin?" Abu Ayyub replied, "Mine, O Allah's Prophet. This is my house and this is my gate." The Prophet said, "Go and prepare a place for our midday rest." Abu Ayyub said, "Get up, both of you, with Allah's blessings." So when Allah's Prophet went into the house, Abdullah bin Salam came and said, "I testify that you, i.e. Muhammad, are apostle of Allah and that you have come with the truth. The Jews know well that I am their chief and the son of their chief and the most learned amongst them and the son of the most learned amongst them. So send for them, i.e. Jews, and ask them about me before they know that I have embraced Islam. For if they know that they will say about me things which are not correct." So Allah's apostle sent for them, and they came and entered. Allah's apostle said to them, "O, the group of Jews! Woe to you, be afraid of Allah. By Allah except whom none has the right to be worshipped, you people know for certain, that I am apostle of Allah and that I have come to you with the truth, so embrace Islam." The Jews replied, "We do not know this." So they said this to the Prophet and he repeated it thrice. Then he said, "What sort of a man is Abdullah bin Salam amongst you?" They said, "He is our chief and the son of our chief and the most learned man, and the son of the most learned amongst us." He said, "What would you think if he should embrace Islam?" They said, "Allah forbid. He cannot embrace Islam." He said, "What would you think if he should embrace Islam?" They said, "Allah forbid. He cannot embrace Islam." He said, "What would you think if he should embrace Islam?" They said, "Allah forbid. He cannot embrace Islam." He said, "O Ibn Salam, come out to them." He came out and said, "O, the group of Jews! 8 afraid of Allah except whom none has the right to be worshipped. You know for certain that he is apostle of Allah and that he has brought a true religion." They said, "You tell a lie." On that Allah's apostle turned him out. Volume 5, Book 58, number 251. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Umar bin al-Khattab fixed a grant of 4,000 dirhams for every early emigrant, i.e. Muhajir, and fixed a grant of 3,500 dirhams only for Ibn Umar. Somebody said to Umar, "Ibn Umar is also one of the early emigrants. Why do you give him less than 4,000? Umar replied, "His parents took him with them when they migrated, so he was not like the one who had migrated by himself." Volume 5, Book 58, number 252. Narrated by Kabab. We migrated with Allah's apostle. See Hadith number 253 below. Volume 5, Book 58, number 253. Narrated by Kabab. We migrated with Allah's apostle seeking Allah's countenance, so our rewards became due and sure with Allah. Some of us passed away without eating anything of their rewards in this world. One of these was Mus'ab bin Umar, who was martyred on the day of the Battle of Uhud. We did not find anything to shroud his body with except a striped cloak. When we covered his head with it, his feet remained uncovered. And when we covered his feet with it, his head remained uncovered. So Allah's apostle ordered us to cover his head with it and put some idkir, i.e. a kind of grass, over his feet. And there are some amongst us whose fruits have ripened and they are collecting them, i.e. they have received their rewards in this world.